We were supposed to have uhuru na umoja. That was the slogan. We get freedom, we unite. We get the East African Federation. But when we got independence, in Telewoma, as Venaisa said, people just enjoyed the small chairs they were sitting in and forgot about the integration, political integration. Except for Tanganyika and Zanzibar, which formed Tanzania. And we must salute Mr. Nyerere and Karume who did that. But otherwise here, when they were debating the integration in Parliament here, one of our members of Parliament, Abu Mayanja, he used to speak with a speech defect. So he stood up and said, Mr. Speaker, sir, some people want to remain big fifis in small ponds. You can check in the answer. You go and check in the answer. I think it was 1963 or 65 there. You go and check. So, therefore, the correct thing to do was and is, in addition to economic, because what I told you about the East African Common Market, the African Continental Free Trade Area, those are economic integration. They will solve the problem of prosperity if they are well implemented. But they will not solve the problem of strategic security. The second historical mission of strategic security. How can Africa defend itself against all threats? Because some of the countries now, like the United States, they are operating in 4 dimensions, 4 spheres. They are on land. They have got land forces. We also have some land forces here. They are in the air, the Air Force. They are at sea with the Navy at sea. There we are not there. We are just here on land. And some of those countries have forces in the ocean and then in space. As we are speaking now, one of the satellites of the USA is going around the moon. For us, we are here in Kyankwanzi. Eating macaroni or something like that, I don't know. This is very dangerous. This is very dangerous. How can Uganda have a navy? We don't even have near the water. The ones near the water don't have a navy. It's have a small coastal boats. We in land cannot do anything about it. So that's why we are saying political federation of East Africa. So that we don't want to go and fight other people, but want to go into the ocean also, big way, and find out what's happening in the ocean. After all, that ocean has got a lot of resources. Fish, what, is all there. Now, we are not there. But also for security. And also go to the moon, see what are you doing here. The moon is a common property for man. But we are just here in Kyankwanzi, dancing mpaka chini. When people are on the moon, looking at us like ants, as if we are ants. I've not eaten rice since I came back from Tanzania, 1979. I have my food. Cassava, bananas, millet, obushaza. Obushaza are called what? Peas. I think they're called peas in English. Ebinyobwa, brown nuts. So when there was a war in Ukraine, people said we are going to starve. I said, me, I will not starve. Unless you block Karma and you stop the cassava from Achori from coming, that's when I will worry. But Ukraine, Barwane. So therefore, that's the third historical mission, guarding our heritage, our language. Our strategy is to preserve our languages, and we feed Swahili to have more vocabulary, but using our, like now the Swahili don't even have a word for national anthem. They don't have a word. They say wimbo wa taifa, a description. Even the English you don't have. You don't have one word, national anthem. But some of our people, like the Achoris, they have Lubala. Lubala is a word which means the clan anthems of those Achori clans. And the Baganda, who don't know that they are very much linked with the Achoris because they don't know that. The Ruos, when they came from South Sudan, they went through Bunyoro, then they came to Uganda also. They were stopped in Ankara, when they were trying to go beyond there, they were stopped. That's why, therefore, you find in Uganda, you have the word Mubala, or Mubala. Again, the clan songs. So I was telling you, in Tanzania, why don't we lend you the word? If you don't have the word for anthem, call it Mubara. So it's the anthem of the country. So that's the third historical mission. So therefore, once we do those, we shall address the issue of prosperity, the issue of strategic security, and the issue of heritage of the Africans. But coming in detail to prosperity, that's where we tell you of the force where you can have prosperity. Because you may say, okay, I want to be prosperous, but where do I go? We say the addresses are the following. Number one, commercial agriculture. Small scale, PDM type, or big scale. Number two, manufacturing. Either big manufacturing or in yoga, the small artisans. Carpentry, shoemaking, and so on. Maize milling. That is the second sector. Third one, services. Border, catering, professional services, etc. Number four, ICT. So that helps us to deal with the issue of prosperity the issue of strategic security, and the issue of heritage. Now we come to philosophy. What makes man work? This confused a lot of people in the past. But Jesus had addressed it 2,000 years ago. He talked of the hired hand, a hired shepherd, who, when the sheep are attacked by the wolf, he runs away and the wolf eats the sheep. But the owner of the sheep will defend them with his own life. So that's how the NRM was able to, people had been confused with parastatals, with what? You can imagine Uganda hotels had hotels in Kampala, in Gulu, in these places. Buses, you will find the government owning buses. But when we came, we said no. Private sector-led growth. These Banyankole have their very bad proverbs, which are very crude. One of them, I can't say it here, but it means that cows are so delicate that only the owner can manage them. They mention a part of the body which I don't want to mention here. But looking after cows are like touching that part there, which can only be done by its owner. They were saying that Mukamochi into Nwako Atayu. So therefore, that's how we address the issue of philosophy. That's why you find that the economy of Uganda is growing, even when the government is inefficient or corrupt, but the economy is growing. It's growing because it is private sector-led growth. I'm looking after the cows myself, the Ankole cows. The government did not care about them. We have been struggling with those cows until now they have become a big hit. When Mr. Ramaphosa came here and I sold him 43 cows, now they are big in South Africa. The other day he sold one cow for 187 million shillings. One cow. But this is done by us with the private sector. Now, last but one, strategy. Strategy, we said, okay, we have seen the ideology, we have seen the philosophy. How about the strategy? Get me the... That's we now identified 10 strategic points. They are in one of these booklets, the 10 strategic points. They are all here. Ideological disorientation, which is what I talked about. If you say the tribe is more important than Uganda or than Africa, you are disoriented. And you can see the disorientation in the world. These fights which are going on in the Middle East are caused by disorientation, identity. Shia Muslims against Sunni Muslims, against Jews, so much suffering. And yet when I went to Iran and when I go to Israel, I tell them, but you people, you are all mentioned in the Bible. I'm not a Jew. I'm not an Arab. I'm not a an Iranian. I am of the cow clan from Uganda. But I read about you in the Bible. You can imagine me. You were Muslim. I said, why can't you live together? You are all mentioned. The Persians, the Medians, the Jews, the Philistines. You remember Goliath? But because of identity, you can see what is happening. So ideological disorientation. Now, because of that, you find some of the countries cannot build capable states. Somalia cannot build an army. Because, why? Because they believe in clans. When you train soldiers, they disappear in clans. They disappear in clans. Disorientation. Poison. They have failed to define what is crucial. Is it identity or interest? Yes, I'm a Nyankore. I speak in Nyankore. Some aspects of Nyankore culture are good. But Uganda is more important than Ankole. And is more important than Uganda. Even for my own sake, your own sake as an individual. If you want to be prosperous, so when you miss number one, ideological disorientation, then you end up with weak states, weak army, weak structure. Then the underdevelopment of the human resource, lack of education, lack of healthcare. Now, because of that, you cannot industrialize the country. You remain producing the materials. Then there was the issue of the fragmented markets, which I talked about earlier. Then, so they are all mentioned here, the strategic, 10 strategic electronics. So therefore, if you capture this, you will get to the core of the NRM principles. Now finally, once you have got this analysis, diagnosis, the plans, how about implementing them? Comes the question of discipline. Discipline of we, the cadres. If you don't have discipline, even if your belief is correct, you may not implement what discipline covers so many things. Avoiding alcohol, because that one can cause a lot of problems. Some is disoriented. Corruption is very dangerous. Because now that you are in leadership, if you are corrupt, not only are you going to misuse government resources, but you will become a bad copy you. where will the country be? When I was campaigning, I had a lot of complaints from on PDM, many places, in Sebe, in Maracha, in Iganga. People were complaining about the diversion of PDM money by the people involved, parishes and so on. The only place where I found people very happy with PDM was Assisi. I don't know why. They were saying good things about PDM. There were individual cases of success. Kampala, Kawempe, Rubaga, people were complaining. So therefore, the young cadres of the NRM who have just been elected and the ones whose mandate has been renewed, if we capture this, the summary of which I have given you, we can't go wrong. Uganda's economy has been growing very fast in spite of this mistake. Powered by whom? By the private sector and the army, which guards and the farmers. So if you, the leaders, you come as clean new brooms, don't please involve yourself in corruption. Don't please, I beg you. And I also not tolerate corruption. If it's necessary to have a new war, I will have a new war. It's very bad to divert us. Corruption for what? Corruption is cowardice. You fear to confront life yourself, then you think the shortcut is stealing. You think shortcut is stealing. Mr. Amos Kaguta, 1965, separated for me 22 cows. 22. That's what the Banyankore do when the boy is old. They say, okay, these are your cows. You and your mother, you go with these cows. If you see my 22 cows now, there are thousands. I'm here. I have not had time to attend to my private life. Most of the time I've been either in exercise, fighting, or when I'm here, I'm busy with the other people's work. But the little time I have, the little that my father gave me is now big. So why do you have to be corrupt? And I feel really, I'm very proud of what I have. My cows are my cows. Because I owe nobody anything. Because there's nobody who did anything for me. Person. So why can't you be proud to earn from Don't strike me. I have never eaten anything. I've never cheated a daughter or a friend. I'm a clean man. You should say. But lightning may strike you if you are not careful. If you have eaten something. So with these few words, it is my pleasure to open your seminar. Thank you so much. Our seminar. I have got a number of booklets which they are going to give you. They are all here. And the other one, this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sit down, sit down. Thank you. This one, which I was using in the campaign, one, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. This one, which I was using in the campaign, the 7 Matofari, you remember? You remember that? Then there's this one where I put a picture with the Prime Minister of Japan about the 10 strategic points, bottlenecks. Missed the bus of history. This one here. Then there's this one, type a qualitative leap forward. This one here. Then I got this one which I gave out in 2018. 4 sectors and 7 activities here for economic empowerment. Then I got this one about the cattle corridor. How we change the cattle corridor from wheels that are modified, from grass site houses to permanent houses. Those are 6 of them. So I thank you and I wish you a successful.
Your Excellency, and honorable colleagues, members of Parliament elect and members of SEC, you have and we have rightly listened to the educative message from our national chairman of NRM. Summarily, ideology, politics of interest versus politics of interest versus of NRM. The chairman has explained explicitly to all of us the value of integration at the East African level, at the continental level, has been clearly stipulated by the chairman of the party. He has reminded us that we are key the challenges affecting our people, but also prescribing valid solutions. On the issue of prosperity, we shall get more on the notebooks or the booklets which His Excellency has offered us. And the four sectors of commercial agriculture, manufacturing, services, and ICT. And always being mindful that our economy is private sector led. He has also reminded us to be very disciplined cadres, especially in observing zero tolerance to corruption. So, Your Excellency, as the chair of this session, I would like to invite my colleagues, members of Parliament elect, and all invited guests to thank you very sincerely with a thunderous hand clap. I thought we have a style. Someone's, yes. Very good. Thank you very much for that morale. Your Excellency, from morning, these us have been responding to presentations which were made by different presenters with objective comments. They have also been humbly seeking clarifications from the presenters, and occasionally they were asking valid questions and also supplementing the messages of the presenters with well thought out ideas. The presentation, Your Excellency, you have made is a keynote address. At this stage, if you allow, the members may make their comments on the keynote. His Excellency has allowed. So now, members, we are over 500 leaders here, and I am sure that we are all itching to make a contribution.
We can allow a maximum of
If we speak for an hour,
we can allow a maximum of 10.
10.
A maximum of
10.
10.
Each 3 minutes.
May I have 10 leaders marching majestically? Leaders walk majestically. And once you count yourself to be number 11, you can have 5 the other microphone.
And there's another microphone here.
5 on the other side, 5 the other microphone, and then 5 on this side. If you are number 6, and number 6, you may take your seat as we wait for the 10 to make their submissions, and then His Excellency may wish to guide further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leader.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and our father, and all the government dignitaries. With the due respect, I would like to say I am Johnson Kezekia Nyeko of Lamont County. Your Excellency, we thank you very much for the security you have given us, you have given this country, because without security, development is impossible. Having said that, I would like to speak about what you talked on space station, on space and the moon. In Uganda, actually, we don't know that we have a higher comparative advantage in building a space station. What do we need? Here, we are closer to space because the equator moves through Uganda. We are closer to space than Cape Canaveral and Eurospace Station. And what we need is the knowledge. And among the people here, I'm sure we have space scientists. And the space scientists
Where are they?
can build.
Where are they? You come and we see you.
Your Excellency,
Space scientists.
we also need fuel to drive the spacecraft. And the fuel we need is hydrogen, which we get from agriculture. In Noya now, we are able to isolate hydrogen from agricultural waste, which we use to drive bioengine that drive dynamos, and we have made power stations.
What is your training? You? What is your training?
We are using that.
No, you.
I'm an investor. I'm a businessman, and I've been in business for 49 years, Your Excellency.
I thought you were a
and I've invested in biomass power generation, and we have given power generators to Godngu in Noya, which we declared 2 years free, and now they have started paying. Space station.
2 minutes.
We need a big water body on the eastern side. So right down Entebbe, we look at a large water body on the eastern side, which is strategic enough to build a power station, a space station. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's have two minutes.
Protecting the gains as we make a qualitative leap towards a higher middle income. We can only achieve the above theme if we can do the following. Number one, commercial agriculture. As said by you, Your Excellency, there's a need for us to have tractors in all the rural areas in Uganda. And more so, and in West Nile in general, and in Moyo district in particular, we need tractors that we can lead into middle income status. Secondly, Your Excellency, there is a need for us to have electricity, which can lead us into agro-industrialization. If we can only achieve the two, tractors and electricity, we can be able to leap into the middle income status. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Walswaka James are my names. From the Mitre District of Taleja. I'm a civil engineer by training, a principal cadre of NRM, and a senior cadre of PLOU. Your Excellency, you said you have taken time. Now, my humble request is that we also have from Namutumba, Butaleja to Luangoli. Finally, Your Excellency, power in some of the places, when we have power in some of these trading centers, we can able keep these perishable goods in refrigerators. Thank you, Asanteni. I'm also the acting chairperson for the welfare caucus of the
members, Your Excellency, Mr. Chairman of this session, my name is Justin Namere Subuga. I'm the woman member of parliament elect for Masaka City. It is a new dawn for us in Masaka City because for the first time in time, Masaka City is having a member of parliament who can attend the retreat in Kyankwanzi. Our MPs very clear that if you want people to prosper, discipline, no corruption, or at least to the least, zero tolerance to corruption. Your Excellency, I will give an example of the regional referral, which is situated in my constituency, Masaka City, but I also whispered to a number of members here, and they told me there isn't much difference with the health centers, the government health centers in their areas. The doctors are there, there's an improvement, the nurses are there, but Your Excellency, we don't know where the medicine disappears to. Ugandans have to buy medicine in government hospitals, I think apart from Panadol. We need to be honest with each other today as members of parliament, especially of the party which is the government in power, the NRM government. Where does this medicine disappear to? Number two, Your Excellency, in your teaching, you always guide members of parliament. I've been listening from the side even before I became an MP about proper appropriation of the budget. You say that it's better to have a focus on given sectors and get more from that than scattering government resources and then you get nothing. I would kindly request you, Mr. Chairman, to expound on that so that you help me and maybe other new members to understand what is the better way to go. Because you once gave an example that in 1986, when the government was new, between about 10 years from 1986, more money would go to defense because government needed to fix issues of security. There was a rebel group in almost every corner and all these other insecurities. So government gave more money to security and fixed that. But today there is spilling, we're all over the place. So I humbly request you, Your Excellency, that you expound on that. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, my name is Alfred Akasi. I represent the people of Kaberemaido. Sir, I would like to thank you, especially for your presentation this afternoon. I thank you for what you said about corruption. I also thank you for the comments you have made about tribalizing politics. Your Excellency, I suffered under tribalizing of politics. And I would say maybe all of us, the three members who came from Kaberemaido, even though we won, we suffered. And I would like to request you to be very firm on this one. If it even costs disqualifying candidates in the next elections for people who have a tendency to promote tribe other than our national interest, I think it should be done by our party. I also request you to step up our efforts on fighting corruption by arresting people. People need to be arrested. And Your Excellency, when you do it, the fear goes around. The same way you have disciplined our army should be the same way we should use against those who continue to cripple our economy by stealing. I end, Your Excellency, by thanking you for giving Kaberemaido people the BKK ferry. We now can access the markets in Busoga. This is what we were waiting for, and I thank you very much for doing that. Our kind request now is that the ferry should be leaving Kaberemaido in the morning, not late in the day, because then our people cannot return. The problem we were trying to solve was that our people come to Jinja, to Kampala in the morning and go back. And would like to see if that happened, more usage of that ferry would continue. I thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for this day and your message. My name is Alioni Odria, Member of Parliament, Iringa South, Yombe District. Your Excellency, you're aware I'm one of the commercial farmers in this country, apparently doing 40 acres of cocoa and 20 for coffee. Your Excellency, as commercial farmers, we have a challenge.
You are a Jalonyi.
Yes. Thank you, Your Excellency.
He's a Jalonyo. Loni.
Yes, sir. Yes,
a rich Mugaga. You're Mugaga.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, Ministry of Water identified 400 commercial farmers in this country. I'm one of them. And these members are meant to benefit from solar system, irrigation system. However, the challenge on ground now is the ministry does not have enough equipment for evacuation. For doing the valley dams, other farmers qualify for 100 meters by 50, and others less than that. So the concern of the commercial farmers that I wish to raise forward is we kindly request for equipment to support Ministry of Water to see that the systems are set. For example, I was meant to plant this April, but due to lack of enough machinery, I only have one equipment, which is a grader. Which is a bulldozer. So that is going to push me up to September to plant, or August. Your Excellency, concern for equipment is a big one for the commercial farmers to support the irrigation system. Your Excellency, number 2, you talked about industrialization. As you're much aware, I'm also an industrialist in this country. Expecting you to launch my factory as I had informed you after swearing in. However, we have challenges as industrialists. As you come to Namambe to launch my factory, I think some of my colleagues will be there to give you some highlights. We still have a challenge with the importation of raw materials that are not within the country, taxes. That's also another cry. Lastly, Your Excellency, when it comes to the issue of corruption, you know that in this 11th Parliament, we have gone through a lot in relation to issues of corruption. And you made it clear in Kololo last year that you used to hear, now you confirmed with evidence that there is corruption in the Ministry of Finance and the Parliament of Uganda. My question is, since you proved that, what have you done? Why don't you arrest these corrupt people with evidence? When will you arrest? So that they serve as an example. That is a big concern between us, members of Parliament, and Ugandans at large. Lastly, I also want to tell Ugandans and my colleagues here,
thank you. 2
I
minutes.
am one of the 4 candidates contesting for speakership, flag bearership under the NRM. And we are calling for rule of law, equity in the activities of SEC. I beg to submit.
Thank you, my brother.
At the right time, I request for an appointment as usual.
2 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, 2 minutes.
Your Excellency, I'm called Wabusani Stephen Makwa.
Let's have one meeting. Colleagues, let's have one meeting.
From Uchigai constituency in Bududa district. Your Excellency, I come from the civil service background. And in your submission, you mentioned one word called integrity. During campaigns, one of my colleagues, the opponent, set a question to ask me so that I can be brought to shame. And the question was, can you ask this gentleman, because I was coordinating a project called NUSAF 2, can you ask this gentleman what he has done? Because that question came in a public meeting. What helped me in even to be what I am now was answering that question. Your Excellency, what helped me, I answered the question that I was given 1.4 billion to coordinate the project. And out of 1.4 billion, I went and started giving each and
everything of what I had done. Ended up giving zero tolerance, one corruption, and therefore upholding integrity. Then I went ahead and I said, now, after Rusaf 2, we have Rusaf 3. I also asked, can you ask these people who has been there, whom I'm contesting with, to also give accountability publicly? Your Excellency, turning that question back, it brought a problem for a colleague who had sent a trap for me. And for that matter, I remained upright. Issue of integrity, even when you don't get anything out of it, at the end of the day, you'll get where you are. Because I did not get a 0 shilling off from whatever I am a member of parliament, going to earn from 790,000 of salary which I was getting to a gross of 5 million. I thank you, His Excellency, for such a statement. And I appeal to my colleagues who are here that it's time which can give us where to go. But at the end of the day, we shall all reach where we are going as long as we are integrity and keep our things hard. May God bless the 12th Parliament for that matter. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, I'm Onesimus Twinamasko, MP-elect Buganga is East in Kakumiro. Your Excellency, you mentioned of the African Continental Free Trade Area, strategic security, political federation of East Africa, guarding of African heritage, and the 4 economic activities that can solve prosperity. Your Excellency, on the issue of guarding of African heritage, Africa has been flooded with GMOs, GMO foods, that reportedly fuel several potential health dangers, allergies, and immune disruptions. And Africa seems to be losing the traditional indigenous seeds. So, Your Excellency, my question is, how shall we as African leaders solve this issue? Because we seem to be losing African heritage in as far as food is concerned. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Okay, thank you very much.
Now we are changing to 1 minute each. You go straight to one point, so that you can
Your
have time for responses.
Afande General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. My name is Honorable Retired Major Joseph Kakoza. I come from Mubende. I represent Bwekula constituency. Your Excellency, first of all, I would like to thank you for the good work you have done to this country. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, I also thank you for having identified me in 1979, and you recruited me in the army, and you sent me for cadet course in Munduri in Tech 17 long. Your Excellency, I served in the army up to the year 2002, when Brigadier Kasirye retired from politics. You again identified me and you told me to leave the army, and I joined the politics. I performed very well. I was the chairman of the district 2 terms unopposed. Then I was an MP, and now I've come back as an MP. Your Excellency, my problem, I've been telling it to you. When you retired me from the army in the year 2002, my name was omitted. I was supposed to be promoted, and you promised, yes, you promised to give me a honorable rank. Your Excellency, I remember you directed Afande Kazin. You also directed Nyakairima, but both of them died. Up to now, Your Excellency, I'm now 70 years old. I am waiting for that rank. I have not got that rank, Your Excellency. So, Your Excellency, I'm now requesting for that rank. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, my name is Spelanza Baguma Muhenda Woli, Woman MP elect Kyenjojo District. I thank you for your presentation, where you've taught us that for us to achieve prosperity, everyone must be able to produce a good or a service. My colleagues have talked about electricity. Even in my district of Kyenjojo, most parts do not have electricity. But even those that have, electricity is very expensive. We are even paying a very archaic service fee, which should actually be removed in my view, because it was even removed from airtime. This service fee on electricity, 3,900 per month, I think is archaic. Number two, Your Excellency, we need to make internet services free to all in order to stimulate the economy and to promote innovation. Number three, Your Excellency, and lastly, is about our party, because you are the chairman of the mighty NRM. We need to clean up our party and have reasonable, free and fair elections. This afternoon, you're going to usher in members, including myself here. You're going to usher me into the party of NRM as if I am a new person, and yet this is a party I have served since its inception in 2005, when we became a party from the old movement. Because at that time, I served as the district NRM registrar Kyenjojo. Because of unfree elections, rigging of elections, the whole exercise is becoming unreasonable, is being diluted. For me, I was declared at 10 in the morning, and at 6 they declared another person to hold the NRM flag. I am requesting that we clean up our party so that it does not cause painful moments like ushering into the NRM people who are members and have actually been serving our own beloved party. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, the Vice President, the Prime Minister, the SEC members, the honorable ministers, and honorable members of Parliament. Your Excellency, my name is Babide Veronica Kadogo. I'm a member of East Africa Legislative Assembly. Your Excellency, I stand here to congratulate you upon your recent election as the chairperson of head of Summit of the East African Community. Your Excellency, congratulations. Your Excellency, I also stand here to thank you for the recent directives that you made while you were in the summit in Arusha. Your Excellency, the directives that you made, they will accelerate the development of the East African community. Your Excellency, the directive that you made, you directed that the member states of the East African community, they contribute towards the community according to the GDP. Your Excellency, this is very important because it will motivate other member states to contribute, because the GDP of the East African community is not the same. Your Excellency, this will enable a country like Kenya with the highest GDP of US dollars of 136 billion US to pay the highest compared to a country like Uganda with the GDP of 66 billion US dollars, and also Uganda will pay higher than a country like South Sudan with a GDP of 11 billion US dollars. Your Excellency, those directives that you made are very important to the community. Your Excellency, we also thank you for the very important directive that you made that the Yala members of parliament be paid by their respective states. Your Excellency, that is very important because the Yala members of parliament, they have not been carrying out their statutory mandates due to financial constraints. Lastly, Your Excellency, we thank you as the chair of the EAC summit that you assented to the new bills that the EAC had just made. Your Excellency, you assented to the appropriation bill and you also assented to the East Africa Statistics Bill. Your Excellency, those bills that you assented to are going to accelerate the development of the East African community. Lastly, Your Excellency, as members of East African community, we thank you for the timely contributions that you make as Uganda, because Uganda has always made its contribution to the East African community in time. And Your Excellency, we also request, as members of East African community, we request for an appointment to come and meet you so that we can discuss on how best the directives can be best implemented. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, His Excellency, for giving us this time at least to speak to you. Me by the name Sam called Nazala Metrin, MP-elect Namisindwa County.
Which one?
MP-elect Namisindwa County.
Namisindwa?
Constituency, yes.
Mulembe.
Mulembe, Pap.
Uliana.
Ulai.
Makua.
Kamalai. Amina. His Excellency.
We are speaking our language. These people don't understand our language.
I have an issue. Our dear daddy. It is like me. I contested. We stood 9 men. 9 men were 9. I was selected. I was the 10th, and I had to hold the flag. By that time, they took me to court. That I'm not a Ugandan, I'm a Kenyan. So, His Excellency, I fought that battle. And as you see, I'm an orphan. I looked behind, there's no way. But I tried to go to court, I got to campaign. Court campaign. But God helped me, I had to win them. God, I asked them to bring my parents. They say they are all dead. So I had to win that case. So I decided to upload the petition again, Papa. And going to look for lawyers. There is no way out. I'm an orphan. So Daddy, I want you to help me and protect me. They have taken me to court in Mbale. So I request you, Daddy, to protect me. You have been always protecting the gains. I'm here, Daddy. Protect me. They're about to finish me. They're about to kill me. I stand here strongly because I'm already a councillor. I'm serving as a councillor, 2 sub-counties, Sekrula and Bungati. I'm finishing that race, but they didn't come out. Why now are they raising that I'm not a Ugandan, I'm a Kenyan? And I have 5 children, I'm married and I'm wedded. Daddy, I bow down. Protect me, please. Because people of Namisindwa had to present me. I was poor. I was traveling on motorcycle, no vehicle. They could laugh, but they voted me. So that they have their intentions why they voted me.
Okay,
in Namisindwa, no hospitals, okay, no schools, nowhere. Daddy, protect me, please.
Okay, Mhana. Wanyara.
Thank you, Daddy.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Otabe Wellborn Odia is my name. I'm the MP-elect for Arua North, which is found in Pade district. I've got 3 observations to make. Number 1, I'm so much delighted that you have appreciated the contributions coming from private sector. It is now my humble plea that the different sectors within government should really come on board so that we begin to promote what we call the public-private sector partnership. Like in the line of education, we have got so many private schools. Right now, they are struggling to support Ugandans. It is my humble appeal that these private schools should also be supported the way government schools are being supported for effective support to our community members. Number two, Your Excellency, I'm so delighted that there are so many books that you've written. It is my humble appeal that if possible, we should disseminate, we should take these books to all the learning institutions so that our students, our pupils are really given good orientation right from the onset. Last but not least, I come from Pade. I want to give the report that this time round, Pade gives you 87.13%, the second best district from Acholi South Region. But Pade has never seen, and they don't know how ministers look like. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda. My name is Mafabi Asha Nabulo, the newly elected woman member of Parliament, Sironko District. Your Excellency, it is truly an honor to be in this esteemed institute. We have been dreaming of this place for the longest time. First of all, I must thank you for your persistence in making sure Uganda is the safest country in Africa to a point that we are exporting peace. We want to thank you right now, given what's going on in the world. Uganda, I think, is the safest country in the whole world. So thank you so much, Your Excellency. It is because of this peace that you have given us that investors, foreign direct investors, are attracted to Uganda. These are words from the investors themselves. They say Uganda has had a stable economy for the past 10 years without the exchange rate, dollar rate, changing much. So thank you, Your Excellency. It has made us a very attractive country for investment. I bring an issue before you. First of all, by thanking you again for your fight against corruption in Uganda. However, I would like you to adopt this issue as well. Unfortunately, this applies to all my other members, the colleagues. When we go to the districts, before we became MPs, and even right now before we swear in, when we bring programs, sometimes the district officials fail us. They fail the program, claiming we want to steal government land, we want to do something ill to the community, which is not the case. However, on this note, why am I bringing this issue before you? I am lucky enough to have entered into a working relationship with an organization called Intracom. You allowed them to come and set up a factory in Manafa, and they are willing to invest more than 1.4 billion in small holder farmers through farmer service centers. And Sironko is among the districts which are going to benefit. Your Excellency, my request, if there is a way of helping us manage such situations, we would really welcome that idea. Secondly, I would like to request if there could be a change in how things are. Instead of waiting until May to swear in, could we swear in shortly after the elections, probably a month or 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks? Reason being, that we are itching and eager to serve. But because of this situation, we are still not considered the official representatives of our districts or our constituencies. Finally, I was lucky enough to have 2 meetings with your brother, retired General Salim Saleh. And we talked about farmer service centers, we talked about rehabilitating the abandoned society stores, we want to put them to good use. But above all, we talked about Musevenomics. I officially request that I am taken on as a prophet or an ambassador of Musevenomics from here onwards, Your Excellency. Finally, Your Excellency, if you might allow me, if you could allow me, since I'm wearing this very beautiful uniform, I've always wanted to salute for you. And I've been told that when wearing this uniform, I can do so. Your Excellency, thank you, Jaja. We are grateful for your service to this country. I submit.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Opio Samuel Achuri, Member of Parliament for Kole North of the 11th Parliament and incoming Member of Parliament for the 12th Parliament. Your Excellency, in your speech today, you talked about the service sector. And one of the areas of the service sector is sports and the hospitality industry. We want to thank you, Your Excellency, for ensuring that the Akibwa Stadium is constructed in Lango Sub-region in Lera. And we've been expectant that it will host AFCON. However, we've got information that Akibwa will not be part of AFCON. And correspondingly, the critical infrastructure such as the roads, Kona Yer, Kona Bohecheme Bobi Road, the Gulu Airfield, which is to be upgraded, the accommodation facilities which will have been supported, we've not had of them being considered. We've seen billions of shillings allocated for upgrade of Hoima Regional Referral, but we don't see any for Lira Regional Referral. We've seen billions for upgrade of accommodation facilities for Hoima to host, but we've not seen the same for Lango sub-region. We are appealing to you, Your Excellency, for us to protect the gains in Lango, which gave you 84% of the votes, that these projects proceed. If we want to be ready for AFCON, Your Excellency, at least prepare us to be ready for World Cup by having the necessary facilities. Secondly, Your Excellency, you've talked about discipline, and we want to talk about the issue of corruption. As members of Parliament, you've asked us to do oversight. I've done a lot of oversight on Emioga, on PDM, on roads. But the biggest challenge we are facing, Your Excellency, the investigative agencies are not coming forth in time. The delays take a very long time, and even when the reports, even when the evidence is there, we're not seeing much action taken. I want to propose, you had indicated last time that the public standing orders should be amended. I want to propose that this be accelerated, and if possible, it should not only be the cows who are transferable. Even the heads of department in the districts and senior positions be transferable. But at the same time, Your Excellency, I also want to appeal that we, within the Public Finance Management Act, there's a provision that where someone is not able to account for funds, they should not be allowed to be board controllers. Their cases are presented before the IGG, they have been investigated, confirmed these people have not accounted for funds, but funds continue to be advanced. So appeal for your support so that our oversight role can be strengthened. Lastly, Your Excellency, you've talked about skilling, and your presidential hub in Langos takes up about 240 every year. But as members of Parliament, we've also added our voices and complemented. I've trained about 1,000 youth in carpentry, in tailoring. And several times you see the office of the national chairman distributing sewing machines, distributing welding machines. But Your Excellency, they have never crossed Karuma and come to my constituency. So I'm appealing that the office of the national chairman comes to Kole North and supports these 1,000 youth that have been skilled with sewing machines, welding machines, carpentry machines, and all that they will need for hairdressing and other vocational skills. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. On making contributions and comments, if there are members who overlapped their comments beyond the keynote address, Your Excellency, I take responsibility. For those members who made very valid comments in line with the keynote address, Your Excellency. That is the quality of our discussion here, and I thank them very sincerely. 5 booklets of His Excellency the President have been distributed. Please read them at your free time, because that is the extension of the keynote address. Your Excellency, if you allow, I will now invite you to make comments on the contributions that the members made. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for the comments. The man from Abim, who is a businessman, but I thought he was a space scientist. When you are in the equator, it is easier to launch satellites. Going to launch 2 satellites. One in a lower orbit for security and the environment, to see the deforestation and so on. And then another one for broadcasting. We are going to launch 2 satellites. But I was saying that if Africa is united, because this will be in the lower orbits, but we want to go to the high orbits, up to the moon. This will not go to the moon. They will help us with see terrorists from space, but we need to do more. Now, Tom Azar reminded me about tractors for Moyo and for other farmers in Uganda. Do we have somebody from agriculture here who can comment on the tractors? Yes, the minister is here.
Your Excellency, the demand for tractors among large-scale commercial farmers is increasing because men are listening to your call. Whatever budget we get, we buy and we give out, but we've found it's not sustainable because of budget. We are now going to implement this year 5 fully stocked mechanization centers where the commercial farmers can come and pick the equipment at subsidized rates and they use and return.
Okay.
In cabinet, we approved 19 centers. So we feel instead of scattering whatever money we have to buy small tractors and drop them in the ocean, we would rather fully concentrate on developing all the 19 centers where people can access and they use and they return.
That can work.
Yes, sir.
Because in 1967, when I bought my land in Rajtura, I went to Mbarara, which was quite far. There was a tractor mechanization unit there with a Mnyoro man called Kateva. And I paid a fee. And they came and plowed for me at Rajtura. So you can have a government unit hired by farmers, and then it is easier than giving tractors to everybody. But you can have like 18 or so of those centers, or 20 in the whole country. Let's work on that. Electricity from Moyo. We have electricity from Gulu. What is the problem? Azar. Because we push the electricity from Atiak to Ajumani to Moyo, I'm sure.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Initially, our power is from Owen Falls via Gulu, Ajumani, then Moyo. Then thereafter, it was upgraded from Karuma via Rua to Moyo.
Oh.
But the issue there is it's very unreliable. It's very unreliable, so let's off and on.
Okay, Energy, who is here? Answer. Energy. What is the problem? Who is coming? If there is nobody here today, the organizer, Todwong, you call somebody to come and answer sometime when we are still here. Is nobody today? You can call a PS tomorrow. She can come and answer.
Your Excellency, we shall invite them to come tomorrow.
Yes. Now, Butareja, we know that road. We are going to work on the road from Bugisu to Butareja to Namutumba. That road we have been struggling with. We shall work on it. That road. From the school, what is the school in Bugisu? Navumari, Namutumba, Butareja, Namutumba. We shall work on that road.
But Your Excellency, the way you have directed the energy people, if the works people come here with your guidance,
they should answer.
Yes, tomorrow, Secretary General. Thank
you. Now, for the Butareja people, this Chivaro, the Chura, Otita, Aymar, of rice. When I was there recently, I said, what is the Chivaro? The one who claimed to earn highest told us we were all there, that the highest you can get is 5 million shillings per acre, per annum, including costs. So I'm saying, you people, why are you keeping my people in poverty with the rice? Why don't they go to coffee, other things we can earn more? Waruswaga, why are you keeping my people in poverty under rice? He's one of the people who is keeping them there.
Your Excellency, in fact, when you came, someone misled you. You know, sometimes people come on the microphone when they don't have data, but you are rushing to Tororo, and you had 2 rallies there.
So what is the Chivaro now?
The Chivaro there, if you ask the Minister of Agriculture, when they rehabilitated the scheme, Your Excellency, people get in an acre more than 10 million shillings. Yes, I'm telling you, the Minister is here. Let the PS come and answer tomorrow of Agriculture. It is a fact.
Okay.
It is a fact.
So our people are safe?
Yeah, they are safe. The only issue is the road and power. Thank you.
Very good. Now, our granddaughter Namere, I want to introduce you that young girl who was a very young girl when I went there. She was small. Now she has been a fighter in Masaka. They almost killed her. You know, when you are, I think she may be honest. That's why they want to kill her. She has been fighting corruption there. They had cheated her results. You tell them the story how you invaded me at Rwachtura. She came to kill me, so I said, please don't kill me.
Your Excellency.
Baganda bano bwajja kunumba.
Kambabuli, Your Excellency. Kubanga.
Speaking.
I speak in English.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, honorable members. Your Excellency, much obliged. Thank you so much for giving me a special minute to go into the insight of what happened in Masaka City. First of all, I want to thank you, Your Excellency, and Mr. Chairman of our party.
They came to attack me.
That because of your intervention, they came to attack you.
Just hold me. Hold on.
Yes, Your Excellency.
The elections were on the 15th
of January.
Results were announced on 17th.
On 16th.
Then these people came to attack me on the 18th.
On the 18th. Yes, Your Excellency.
You came with how many people?
I came with 27 people.
You see how much I was in danger?
Yes, Your Excellency.
And these young people came and they said, you old man, we have come to say bye-bye to you. We are finished with your NRM. I said, why? He said, 1, 2, 3. So you tell them.
Yes, briefly, in Masaka City, we've been having a problem of people within NRM, some of them highly placed, some of them local leaders, NRM chairmen, supporting opposition in Masaka. It was everywhere. Oh, sorry, honorable members. I thought I was the only one suffering, or maybe it was more pronounced in Masaka. So we felt like it was becoming a crime to support NRM in Masaka. You have religious leaders attacking you because of supporting NRM. You have your fellow, some of the so-called NRM stakeholders attacking you. So we had a very sharp difference between the party and the common person. The speaker, Right Honorable Nalongo, I want to thank her. She had tried to intervene, but I think by the time she tried to intervene, she was so engaged with so many other things. Even the Right Honorable Toduong, we had shared, but he was also all over the country trying to assist the general picture. But what happened is the councillors, all the flag bearers from the villages, our party flag bearers for village chairperson, our flag bearers for councillor, because you see we had other elections after the MP election. They came to me and told me, we are going with you now to His Excellency the President, wherever he is. We tell him we are leaving NRM. And that's what we did. We got into a vehicle, no appointment, went to Rwachtura. At the gate, we told them we are aware that the President is here. We have come to tell him that we are leaving NRM. Let's go and join other opposition parties, because it seems in Masaka it is a crime to tell a thief that it is a thief. It's a crime to join NRM. It's a crime to outrightly support NRM. It's an emotional conversation for me, but I'll try to put myself together. But it is so terrible, Your Excellency. No, I'm serious. I'm serious, honorable members. It is so terrible. I won't cry because I'm the Commander 001, NRM Stock Empia. NRM Stock Empia Jew. So, Your Excellency, NRM Stock Empia means like the new stock, the new breed of NRM. People that can stand up and make a case for the political party, which is NRM, the mighty victorious movement, without fear.
Okay, you sit down. Now, so, what happened? Sit down.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
So when they told me that, I'm not somebody who believes just stories. So I said, what proof do you have? They gave me some contacts, which I checked, and they confirmed their story. How they were changing the results, announcing different people, you can imagine. And the government people were involved. police and so on. So I moved in, removed the police commander there, removed him. Then I also made some, I talked with the Electoral Commission, they removed the returning officer. That's how they had a recount. Because you tell them what had happened with your votes.
Your Excellency, what happened is that when the counting is going, there are two ways that people could cheat an election. If they don't manage to cheat you from the field, because in the field we managed to guard the vote and we had all the DR forms and everything was clear that Namere had won the election, NRM had won, Masaka City won MP. So what the returning officer did, in the final tally, he eliminated 11 polling stations where I had won highly. Polling stations where I had 277 votes, 300 votes. For places like Kasijagira, the barracks, it has 4 polling stations. It is a given that all NRM candidates win those polling stations traditionally. They made sure they eliminate all of them. Honorable members, you bear me witness. You understand what 11 polling stations mean. It means 2 parishes, 2 full parishes. So they made sure all the places where I won highly. Around the marketplaces, I won very highly because, Your Excellency, your people were happy that you had removed the illegal imposer on the urban poor. So around the areas that are concentrated with those Vairi, I won very highly. They deliberately eliminated those 11 polling stations and then gave a final tally, which is fake. Instead of giving a tally for 314 polling stations, they gave a final tally, 11 polling stations less. 11 polling stations on the minimum we had for cities. Each polling station had 600 voters, averagely, for cities. I don't know about the village districts. So if you're talking 11 polling stations, you're talking 6,600 voters. And I was the winner in those polling stations. Averagely, I had 5,200 votes in those polling stations. So that's how they cheated. And with your intervention now, we have 46 councillors out of 74.
So when we intervened, there was a recount and Namere won. And now, what was very interesting was after, in Masaka, NRM swept all these other elections. Would you want to give the figures? The ones which came after.
Honorable members, you can recall that after the MP election, we had the mayor. Okay, for cities. I think for the villages it was chairperson, but for cities we had the mayor. Then another third election a week later for the division mayors and the councillors, the parish councillors and city councillors. So when His Excellency the President listened to us that day when we attacked him in courts in Rachura, when we went to Okumsalako, and he accepted, he allowed his security to let us in, and we told him all our grievances, and he intervened and made sure that the culprits, the regional police commander, then the returning officer, he made sure those positions had new officers serving. In the election of the division mayors and city councillors, for the first time in like 30 years, Masaka City managed to get a division mayor of NRM in Chimanya Kabonera division. Then out of 74 councillors that were voted in that election, we managed to get 46 of NRM flag bearers. Yet before Mzee made that intervention, before His Excellency made that intervention, in the first election, because you see there is parish councillors, then city councillors. In the first election of the 13, there are 13 in total, of just mayor and city councillors, we only got one. We only got one who won by just 12 votes in the first, before he intervened. For MP, we had not got, because they had cheated me. the MP that won. But after his intervention, we got the majority, and we are so happy Masaka City is doing much better. Thank you, Tata.
Thank you. So now, what Namere was saying was prioritization in budgeting. Instead of what they call it naturally, I think in naturally they told me they call it poro. Scattering, kumansa mansa. Okweherera. Scattering the budget. That was the problem in 2005 when Uganda had a bad situation of no power. After that election of 2006 early, I called the caucus. And I persuaded them that we prioritize roads. Yes, there are many priorities. Water is a priority, education is a priority, health is a priority, but we don't have money to cover all of them. That's why I said, can we concentrate on the roads and electricity? And if there is somebody from financial, he can tell you how we moved the budget of roads from how many shillings to how many shillings. And because of that, we have been able to do all these big roads you hear, like the one from Oruyo, Gulu, Kitugum, Musingo. That was done because of that. The one of Soroti, Moroto was because of that. The one of Moroto Nakapiripirit was because of that. The one of Bisinyo, Mbarara Kagati. The one of Mitiana, Kampala Mitiana. The one of Masaka, Kampala Masaka. So because of the one of this one of Jinja, going through Mayuge, Namayingo, Busia. They were done because of that. And the electricity, that's how we're able to do a number of the electricity projects. So that's what Namere is saying. Don't scatter. Let's choose some priority areas. When I was giving emphasis to works and to the roads, I was not giving the same emphasis to water, for instance. Yes, water is very important, but we didn't have money to do everything. But my reasoning was that if we do the roads and the electricity, we shall get investors. Investors will come in. Even if the villages may not have the water yet, but the investors, because what they need for them, they need electricity. Once they have that and some roads nearby, they will come. And once they come, they expand our growth and tax collection. And later on, we can come back and deal with the water. So that's what Namere was talking about. So please, don't be lured into trying to scatter everywhere. Let's agree on what is crucial. Like this year, we are talking about AFCON, so that we finish with that one. Then there are some scientific innovations which I want us to support, because otherwise we shall lose them. You take Chira Motors. They already have orders. But if we don't produce, the orders will be cancelled. And we shall never recover that reputation again, because people have ordered. If we don't fulfill the order, our reputation is finished. So that's why we are saying that this year, can we fund Chira Motors, Magora, Senfuka, Tugume of coffee? The good thing is that some of these expenditures are one time. You do it, you don't have to do it again. Some of the costs are not recurrent. They are not like salaries. So that's what Mane was talking about. The prioritizing among priorities. The man from Kaberamaido made a very good point. Even if you are already elected, if you can bring to court proof that you use tribalism, you will be removed from your position and you will not be allowed to compete for leadership again for some years. So, those who have been using sectarianism are playing with fire because people have not bothered to follow them up. Because even if you are already elected, you will be removed by the court and you will never compete again. So those who are using sectarianism in Kaberamaido, what sectarianism was this? Kumam against Tess or what? What was it?
Your Excellency, it was about Kumam versus Teso, Kumam versus Lango, and things related to that. In my particular case, my opponent, who was a member of parliament for Kyoga North, had lost his election there for being chair of the party and also flag bearer.
Dubai.
Yes, Your Excellency. So when he came to Kaberamaido, he said, I belong to Teso, I should also be displaced. Your Excellency, that was a very bad example for a cadre who has been a cadre of our party for a long time. And it also was disfranchising to our people. I thank God that the people of Kaberamaido have proved that wrong by voting me and voting my other friends, despite the fact that these particular allegations were actually false. Good. I thank you.
Thank you. But even if he's elected, he can be disqualified. Just bring evidence to the court.
Well, he lost.
Very good. That's true. Now BKK, the ferry, you know the carelessness. I've got it. The carelessness of our people. I had to change the manager of the Uganda Airlines and borrow an elderly man from Ethiopian Airways who is now there. Now, when that old man came, he wrote me a report, big report, why the airline was not performing well. So many points, but one of them which I found was which is like the one of the Kumam man, the Teso man, was the scheduling of the airline. Such a simple thing. Our wonderful people would say, Uganda Airlines Kinshasa, Friday, it will leave at 7. Monday, it will leave at midday. Wednesday, it will leave at 4 o'clock. Now, it says this is not good for passengers. Passengers need to know, because they don't have time to follow those details. They need to know that the airline to Kinshasa leaves at 1 o'clock every day, without change. So when he told me this, I remembered our bus of Ntungamo. The one of Kabare would leave at this hour. Everybody knows. Ruakabare, Legenda Shaz. Then the one coming from Kabare to Mbarara, this hour. So now you can see now the carelessness. The way they were scheduling the ferry. We have put a brand new ferry there. But you hear how they are making it impossible that it leaves Kaviramaido side in the afternoon. By the time it arrives on the Busoga side, it is night. So the people who are going to do business must sleep there. Why don't you see the common sense that because people are coming to do business, they want to go back? Why don't you come, bring them in the morning, and take them back in the afternoon? So works. Why can't you have such common sense? Where is works now? They are like Uganda Airlines. Monday you leave 7. Tuesday you leave midday. Friday you leave. People can't even follow what you are talking about. Yamukama.
Your Excellency, the ferry they are talking about, you launched it 2 months back. It serves Buyende and Kabramaido. Initially, our engineers had put the infrastructure for accommodation of the crew the side of Buyende. Now, after starting the operation of the ferry, they realized there were much business people from Kabramaido come the side of Buyende. So we are now working on the accommodation facilities for the crew from the side of Kabramaido, such that the ferry, as the way it's saying is right, it sleeps in Kabramaido, brings the business community this side, then takes them back in the evening, and it sleeps there to bring them back in the morning. The challenge was our people couldn't put it in mind, since it is serving the 3 points. Kabramaido was the one with the highest traffic, but we're working on that one, and come next month, the ferry will be sleeping in Kabramaido because we shall have the accommodation there. Thank you.
Now Odria is a rich man with cocoa and solar equipment and dam equipment. Tumwebaze, how do you handle Odria?
Odria's problem, he wants machinery to open more. Your Excellency, we have a fleet of about 15 excavators, some bulldozers. We once in a way intervene, so I will link up with him and we shall support him. But most sustainably, sir, we are negotiating with the Ministry of Finance in this new term to see whether we can create a favorable credit facility for large-scale farmers. You will guide us whether maybe 12% under ACF can come down. So it's still something in discussion. Maybe we shall come to cabinet.
But still, they will not be able to buy the excavator.
The excavators, Mzee, would be solved through the mechanization centers.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Tax on raw materials. Tax on raw materials. Finance. Which is from finance. Because raw materials which are not produced within Uganda or within East Africa should have zero tax. So what is the problem?
Your Excellency, every product or instrument has got a tax. In this one, I really don't know. I'm being very frank. Maybe you could allow me to speak with Musinguzi why he's doing the way that way.
Okay, now, the organizers of the retreat, you call the URA people to come and answer that. Because raw materials, because they are raw materials, they are what we call intermediate products. Raw materials should be zero tax if they are not locally produced. Intermediate products are 10% East African rates. So you invite the ones of URA to come and answer that question. Toduong, are you here?
Yes, sir, we have taken note.
Now, why are you not arresting corrupt people? Oh, they were arrested. You remember the members of parliament who were arrested? They were arrested. Namuju, Akamba, come and tell them how you repented. What did Namuju? They were arrested. They were arrested. They were arrested, and then they were tried, and then they were arrested. Odia also is standing for speaker. That one we shall discuss at the right time, because SEC had recommended that we maintain the two. Because it had become like a tradition. But this was now stop it, Nani. This was our recommendation. It is not us who decide. We recommend, and then we can reason why. So when the time comes, we shall be able to discuss it and explain why. But we are not the ones who elect. We recommend, and we support our recommendation with the reasons. So if Audrey wants to be speaker, we shall discuss it at the right time. And all others who want to speak up, they will weigh our decision of SEC with all the facts. MP for which guy of integrity, very good. I'm very happy to hear the integrity of the people, of the MP from Bugisu. Then the MP from Kakumiro, GMO foods. Agriculture, are you the one? Are our seeds safe?
Yes, Your Excellency. The round races or the traditional seeds they are talking about are conserved. There are two approaches to conservation. Maybe in my presentation on Sunday, sir, I will give a detail. There's what we call in situ conservation, where we have the botanical gardens and all the varieties are conserved there. That's why our scientists speak the resilient roots for creating the hybrids. Then we have the gene banks in the narrow institutes. So we do not make GMOs. We only have hybrid seeds, because these round races alone, even if you leave them and you continue broadcasting the way we used to do, they cannot match the changing climate. So we do not have GMOs. We may not be sure whether there couldn't be infiltration, but from our own institutes, we do not have GMOs. GMO seeds have one issue. They kill certain parts of certain DNA and manipulate it using science. But we are not doing that. Our seeds are resilient, and Your Excellency, our scientists at NARO are doing a good job.
Okay, then you explain it more. Major Kakoza is complaining about promotion. You are now 70, you are a major, and you have not been done for a long time. Yes, about the Reverend. Remain seated, it's all right. Promote me to be a bishop. If you are promoted to bishop, which diocese are you going to manage? But I think one can look at because these ranks, they go with the responsibility you have in the army. You are a captain, you are commanding a company, you are a major, you are commanding a battalion, lieutenant colonel battalion, brigade colonel, brigadier, you are commanding a brigade, the general, you are commanding a it's like the church. For the parish, it is the reverend. For the diocese, it is the bishop. So, but the ceremonial, I will examine that. Electricity change, maybe they will answer tomorrow when they come. The service charge, what is the service charge? Then the lady from Chenjojo, Baguma, what is the service charge? Who is charging?
Your Excellency, UEDCL is charging 3,900 shillings per month as service fee.
To whom?
To the consumers of electricity. And even when they are cut off and they spend months without electricity, for you to get reconnected, you have again to pay that service fee per month times the number of months you have been off, and then you are able to pay for electricity again.
So please, the person of energy tomorrow will answer that.
Okay, Your Excellency, thank you very much.
Now, internet service is being free. Is that really wise? It can't be free. you have somebody from ICT? Service charge, internet charge being free. Let somebody come and answer it. Wrong. Now the NRM primaries. I have had a lot of complaints on the NRM primaries. But what I normally insist on are you see, even because like where we get very good case, we are strong enough, we are able to, where I would get clear facts as chairperson of the party, I would intervene and insist on correcting the situation. This is what happened in Namtumba. Namtumba, the chairman, they had announced another one. Is there somebody from Namtumba here? This is Omumbeda. Omumbeda Namuganza. She's always in battles with some. What had happened in Namtumba?
Thank you, Your Excellency. What had happened in Namtumba, we voted for the NRM chairman, Mr. Simon Menya, and he was announced. After being announced, the person he was contesting with, Nalevonaiga Gamalia, petitioned the NRM Secretariat, and they cancelled Simon Menya, saying there is no chairperson, without even listening to him, and even without giving us reasons as to why they had cancelled him. They were simply saying the elections never took place. So, Your Excellency, you engaged your lawyers and your people to investigate this matter